In 3, 2, 1. Good morning and welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Vicki Green. All right, today, listen, Gronk did it. Thousands of people have done it. What is it I'm talking about? Buzzed off their hair to raise needed funds for pediatric cancer patients. One Mission is a Massachusetts-based pediatric cancer charity that runs the Big One Mission Buzz Off, and it's coming up on June 2nd at Gillette Stadium. So joining me today to discuss the Buzz Off and how and why this event started and to get all the details is Paige Crane, who's the marketing coordinator for One Mission. Good morning, Paige.
Good morning.
And Kelly Chauncey, who's the volunteer director who has participated in many Buzz Offs over the years. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning.
Thank you both for coming in. So, Paige, before we talk about the Buzz Off, folks listening may not have heard about your organization, One Mission, that puts on this event and organizes some other events with partnering hospitals. But I think your message of helping kids and families get through cancer treatment one day at a time, that's kind of your tagline, that really says it all. What is One Mission? How did it start?
Great question. So One Mission is a pediatric cancer charity, like you said, but what makes One Mission unique and different is that we don't fund research, which is what almost all charities do. We fund programs and services, over 40 of them, at our 3 partner hospitals that affect the day-to-day needs of those children battling cancer and their families. So what's really cool about One Mission, our One Mission is to do whatever it takes to get kids through cancer. And that's it. So whether that be something as little as our welcome bag program when kids are admitted through the ER when they're first diagnosed and their parents arrive with nothing, we give them a little welcome bag. It has a cell phone charger, water bottle, change of clothes, stuff like that.
Oh, what a great idea.
Yeah.
Cell phone charge, you don't even think of that.
Yeah, so these little things to something as big as we have catered meal programs, which are one of our favorite and biggest programs, which is a warm, free meal for all of those kids and families because they still have to pay for food there. So we have a bunch of catered meals that comes in. We have Taco Tuesdays, we have pizza, we have pasta. So whether it be something big like nutrition and free food or something little like here's a cell phone charger because you don't have one and this is an emergency crisis, we try to look at those day-to-day needs and see where we can help them. So that's kind of what One Mission is all about.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a lot about the programs because you're just glancing over, but there are a million things that you do for families every day, which is amazing. And this is your 10th Buzz Off, and I've read you've raised nearly $10 million in the last 10 years.
That's right.
And the money has supported, just so people listening understand, it supported approximately 8,000 kids with cancer and their families, including their siblings, which we're going to talk about because people don't often think about what it does to siblings and families. It's amazing. So, Kelly, how and why did you get involved in your first Buzz Off?
Interestingly enough, it was 5 years ago. I was driving to work and I was listening to this radio station and I heard the commercial. And I thought to myself, that's something that I could easily raise money for because just my family alone would say, yeah, that's something that Kelly would do. So I figured there was just something that I was connected with. I can still remember what road I was on, where I was driving, where I heard that this commercial, and I have been involved ever since then. And I just get very emotional when I talk about it because I've been fortunate enough to not have been affected personally, but it definitely is sprinkled around me. Cancer definitely has been sprinkled around me in my life. And I just love the fact that the money that is raised through the Buzz Off helps the families. I feel like that is without a doubt the first and utmost need. And that's what grabbed me. I was like, this is something that I can get behind because I'm raising money to help families and like understanding that.
And like you said, I met your daughter earlier. They must be like, yeah, go mom, go mom.
Yes, they're totally.
Your
like,
kids aren't
throw
gonna...
your hair out. Yeah.
Well, it's just people can't see. Well, they'll see the picture online, but it is short right now. You
it's
buzz.
Long. It's long.
So this is long for you.
This is very long.
And you're gonna buzz on June 2nd.
Yes, it's been 5 years, and I just felt for the 10th anniversary that it was the perfect time to do it again.
Now, were you nervous the first year?
Oh, most definitely. I was scared, but I was excited. And I still, to this day, go back again to that day. And what got me were the stories. And I can speak from being there 5 years ago and listening to the stories of the families that are interviewed while the buzz off is going on. It's
Like people in line or
people in
next to
line
you.
there, and you can hear them through the speakers and stuff like that. To see where the stories were then to where they are now, it's remarkable. Like to hear back then people ciphering their gas from their lawnmowers to put it into their car so that they could get to the hospital because they couldn't afford gas.
Oh my goodness.
So that the wife could come back and they're switching back and forth. To now where people are like, oh my God, I didn't know how I was going to make my mortgage payment, and you guys stepped up to the plate and helped me.
So people got their hair buzzed and they come back and do it again to keep continuing one mission.
Just because of the fact that there is that need, and just because 5 years ago there was those families were involved at Children's Hospital then, there's a whole new group, unfortunately, of people that need those exact same things now. And that One Mission just does an amazing job of helping those families. And to me, I won't get teary-eyed, but to me that is what drives me to buzz and volunteer every year.
And before we started the show, you said something interesting because I asked you, obviously, if anyone in your family had been affected, and your kids, thankfully, have not. But you said when you got there, you were volunteering, I think, recently and past years, and people that you knew from the area where you live or from work showed up to buzz, and you didn't even know that they were impacted
Exactly.
by this.
Yes, and I feel like there again is the amazing community of One Mission and the Buzz Off. It is a family atmosphere, and so when you're at Gillette and as big as it is, and it's exciting, and there's so much positive energy, you can be brought right back to reality when you come across somebody and they look at you and they're kind of like, yeah, I'm affected by this, and it just it's crushing, but yet it reiterates the fact that I am there for a reason, and it's whether it's to hug that person and just to know that I support you and I'm helping you the best the way that I can help you. I feel like that's the least I can do.
And your hair grows back.
It totally goes back. The biggest thing that for me, and I tell everybody that's buzzing for the first time, is the hardest thing is when you put your head down on the pillow. And your hair.
When you get home, you
When you
mean?
get home and you go to sleep that night and you put your head down on the pillow and your head doesn't move because it's like fuzzy and you're
I
like.
would think the shower. I'd be like, wait a minute, this is the quickest shower I could take.
Yeah, exactly. But to me, that's what I remember the most was kind of like my head doesn't slide across the pillow anymore.
That is so funny. So Paige, One Mission's data said, as you were getting to, Kelly, One Mission's data says since 2010, approximately 6,200 heads have been shaved.
Yeah.
We obviously want a lot of people to come out and hear this and register, which they can still do. And we'll give out the websites at the end. They'll be on the station website. You go to the website, you can still register. The event is June 2nd at Gillette. Very busy place. It's a diverse group of people, right? It's men, women, kids, adults, different ages.
Yeah, people would be really surprised to find out that we have about a third men, a third women, and a third kids. And they're like, no way. Especially the women. They're like, I could never do that. But then, to see the bravery of these people, not only showing solidarity, but also raising this money for the kids, they are so happy. And of course, there's some nerves, but they are so happy to buzz their heads for those kids and to do all that fundraising that no one's thinking about themselves day of. And so we have all sorts of people from all sorts of walks of life and shapes and sizes, and everyone is there for the singular purpose to support these kids and these families. And it's truly a life-changing event, and people get addicted to it. They come year after year and they can't stay away because it really, truly is life-changing. And we see every type of person come through that door, and it's really a true celebration of everyone coming together for these kids and those families. And it's just an amazing event. And I'd encourage people to sign up and register for the Buzz Off this year because it's our 10th year anniversary, and it's going to be just huge. It's going to be even more special than it usually is. And we have all sorts of fun birthday elements thrown in. So it's just going to be one.
You mean the 10th
giant
birthday?
Yeah.
We can't reveal anything?
No,
All right,
you
so
have
anybody
to
listening,
register.
You have to register and go. Now, you can go you can go and contribute money even if you get there and chicken out with the buzz off part. You still can go to the event, have fun, donate the money. Now, you can do it as an individual or a team.
Yep, you can sign up as an individual Buzzy. Buzzy is what we call people that shake
That's my
their heads for
cousin's
us.
name.
Buzzy. It's cute. People don't know what we're talking about. So yeah, you can sign up as an individual Buzzy, or if you want to bring people, come with people, or just find a group to be with. You can also register as a team. We have a lot of great teams. I think we have 63 teams right now. Yeah, and they're huge. And then small. 2 people. So you can either come in as a group, come as an individual, and of course, all Buzzies are allowed and welcome to bring guests and their families. And we have even an area right in front of the shave area, so they can take pictures and videos, and they're right there cheering you on, and they're right there. So it's really, it's truly a family event.
Well, and two, you're being empathetic because the whole purpose is, as people, the kids, chemo is a big part of the treatment.
Right.
In addition to often surgery and all sorts of other things.
Yep.
And I read from the data that I'm going to get to that the 3 most common types of pediatric cancer are leukemia, lymphoma, and brain tumors, brain cancer. So, I mean, these kids, almost all of them have to go through chemo. And so you're losing your hair, but these kids don't have a choice.
And that's exactly.
And you're making a choice to do it for them.
That's exactly it. Those kids have absolutely no choice. They have to lose their hair if they want to survive. But we have the choice. So not only are we saying, here, I'm going to put in the effort to fundraise for programs and services that will help you, but also because I love you, I'm going to shave my head for you to show you that you are not alone and bald is still beautiful and that we're all in this together. So it's really a beautiful event.
And to put pediatric cancer in perspective, just so everyone listening knows, because again, I say this every show almost, I learned something, and that's why I love meeting people like you and love doing this show, because I do a lot of research and look into these things before we speak. And every day, over 40 kids are diagnosed with cancer in this country, and more than 40,000 undergo treatment for cancer every year. And that treatment can be 3 months or it can be 3 years. Mm-hmm. So One Mission, as you said, seems to really focus on the child's quality of life during treatment, and families and siblings who are angry or frustrated or feeling helpless. Because I mean, even think about it. When my daughter has a cold or gets, had the flu, you feel terrible. This is no flu. No. This is serious business. 3 months to 3 years. Families feel sad and hopeless, and there must be a tremendous financial stress. And Kelly, you can address this too from people you've spoken to. But Paige, sometimes I never even thought about it. 3 years, you have to quit your job.
Oh yeah, the crisis level people don't comprehend because it's a complete shutdown of everything you've known on every level, in every regard. And so one of the reasons we exist is because parents can't process. They can't do anything. They can't work. They have to be with their kid, and they literally are completely helpless in crisis mode. And so we step in and say, okay, what do you need? How can we help? Let us do this. So, for example, the One Mission resource room at Boston Children's, that's an area.
Boston Children's Hospital.
Yeah, Boston Children's Hospital, thank you. That's an area where kids can play, and we have all sorts of fun things there. But parents often say they bring their siblings that have to be with them, and they just play. And they just sit there, and it's almost as if they're in a living room with their kids playing, and they can just sit there and try and do whatever they need to do that's pressing. But it's even stuff like that, giving them a space where the kids can play and they can just sit back for half a second. Something as simple as that helps them get through. But honestly, financially, emotionally, spiritually, socially, every single part of their life is turned upside down.
Right, and you think about hospitals, and you've seen this before. Parents get to know each other because they're there every day, day in and day out. So this resource room, One Mission, funds that room, right? We fund a lot of our programs and services run out of that room, but we also fund a full-time staff member to be there, so it's always open for the kids. They can always come in no matter what they're doing. And then our catered meals are all run out of there. We have yoga and relaxation. For the parents and the siblings?
And the kids, yeah. And we have a Wii in there. We have arts and crafts. I mean, we have tons of fun stuff in there. Ice cream parties, cinema Saturdays. So it's a room on the 6th floor, oncology. January, and anyone is welcome to just stop by, whether it's to make an arts and craft or whether it's, to participate in a meal, grab some food, anything. Maybe just talk to the staff member there, anything we can do to help. So that's really kind of like a haven in the midst of all of that medical craziness.
And what's so important is One Missions funds that room. So to get those funds,
Yes.
we need people to participate in this buzz off and be a buzzee. So now, Kelly, you've obviously been to the buzz off. Have you been to the resource room and seen some of these?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
it's
What's your
amazing.
impression?
Again, it's emotional. It's fascinating. One Mission has just done a great job of covering every single aspect of your life that gets affected by your child having cancer. There's nothing missing in that room. Again, but it goes back to your point of having to raise money to keep that room actively filled with all the whether it's arts and crafts, whether it's the food, whether that just doesn't. We have to continue to do that, and by doing that, by being able to do that, we have to continue to raise money, and we have to continue to reach that goal that we have at the Buzz Off.
Right. Which we
and-
said last year you raised $1 million. So,
Yeah.
of course, you want $1 million again, but we'd like to up it maybe. Let's go for, I don't know, 1.2?
Yeah, let's shoot for 1.2.
Let's shoot
I
for
don't know,
1.2, 1.5.
As much as we can possibly get. It all goes
Another
to the
million?
kids. Yeah.
You get $1 million
Bring
here,
it
let's do
on.
another.
We'll take anything.
One of the things that that Paige didn't mention either when she was explaining some of the programs is, and something that you don't think of, but the parking passes. Like when you
for the hospital?
For the hospital, you have to park your car and you have to leave your car there for the day. And so that's one of the things that they cover is parking, daily parking.
Wow.
Which is, as if anybody knows, is really expensive in Boston.
Yes, it is.
So I find even that smallest thing that you might not think of, like, oh yeah, that's right, you have to bring your car there and you have to park your car. Maybe there's a sibling that's coming
Gotta
from
get school, right.
Exactly. And a lot of parents are doing a morning duty and then the other one comes at night, and maybe a sibling came from school to see their sibling and hasn't been fed yet, and so that food needs to be there, or a place to do their homework. And so there's just
So much need.
when you start picking at what this fundraising actually does, it just keeps going and going and going. Like, it just really is an amazing part of, sorry, you can disregard that, but it's an amazing
No, it's nice that you get tongue-tied because
because I don't
people
want to
can't-
cry. So
Well,
I'm like,
listen, we can get you tissues. We've had many tears on this show, but you know what that shows people? I mean, you're laughing, and people laugh when they're nervous because it means a lot to you.
It definitely does. It gets me.
I cry all the time, and I work there full time. I mean, it doesn't stop.
Right. I mean, we're laughing now,
Yes.
and we're talking about a positive event because you're doing positive things. But it is not easy for this family.
No, not at
and you've done this, Kelly. You buzzed once, then you volunteered. Now you're going to buzz again.
Yes, I am.
So if anybody
and
goes
I'm going
and
to
hears the
volunteer.
show,
I'm doing two
She's
things
doing
at once.
both.
they can look out for Kelly if they want to get buzzed.
Yep.
Go to merchandise if you want to hang out
Yeah.
with Kelly. That's where she's heading.
Oh, Kelly's going to be selling T-shirts.
Oh,
I
yeah.
oversee the merchandise table.
Visit merch table.
Merch
Listen,
table.
what happens to the hair?
Yes.
Anything?
Great question.
There's got to be a ton of it.
So we partner with Wigs for Kids.
Okay.
So if anyone has hair that's long enough that meets the requirements and is interested, we make it super easy. We have a form right before you go in to get your head shaved. You just fill it out, and we give you a bag. You go get it shaved, and they cut it off in ponytails, and you put it in the bag. And then right when you walk out, there's the drop-off station, and we get boxes of hair.
I was going to say, how many? You have hundreds of people there, and there's got to be hair everywhere.
Yeah, well, most of them don't meet the length requirements because it is 10 inches, which is pretty long. But we love doing that, and a lot of people are really interested in donating it. But all the other hair, that's short. It gets swept up and thrown away.
Oh, that's
It's
the job
pretty
of volunteer.
gross.
That's a lot of work. So, listen, you have other ways. If people can't make it to the buzz off, they can create teams. We were talking earlier that the Worcester Bravehearts did it.
Yeah, we have a great community buzz-off program, and so that's for anyone that can't make it to Gillette but is still interested in fundraising and buzzing. You can do it anywhere, anytime, any way you want. So it's really completely up to you. And the great thing about that is at Gillette, we do have a fundraising minimum to help us cover overhead costs at Gillette. But with community buzz-offs, you have no fundraising minimum. So it really is a wonderful way for people to get involved and to show solidarity, but also to have the freedom to do it however and wherever. Like I told you, the Worcester Bravehearts did a CBO. The Waltham Fire and Police guys, they do a lot of...
All right, Waltham Fire and Police.
They rock. They're awesome. But they do like a hockey tournament for us. We're the beneficiaries of golf tournaments and fishing tournaments and fundraisers, at PTO day and Little Leagues and, all sorts of stuff. So there are tons of ways to get involved. And we're always open to, new and exciting ways, but we have tons of options. If you want to help and don't know how or can't make it to Gillette, on our website, or people can call in and talk to me and I can help them figure out a plan.
Now, you said Gronk is very involved.
Oh, yeah, he's a good friend of ours. Rob is...
Is he going to be there?
Oh, yeah, Rob will be there.
So, hey, June 2nd at Gillette. You want to see Gronk?
Yeah.
He doesn't have much hair to shave by now, I don't think.
No, but the cool thing is, if you are one of our top fundraisers, Rob actually shaves your head. So
He shaves your head?
Shaves it. And
if you raise the most, what on average, what's been a high number?
Well, our platinum MVP, which is the top, is over $15,000. Wow! And people
One
do raise
team,
it
because
just
some
an
people get their
individual,
company,
one person.
An individual.
Yeah.
And if you want to have a team, I know some people talk to their companies because companies might match. I mean, they do that for events.
Yeah, they do. I mean, we have the End Zone Militia, all those guys that dress up
From the stadium.
Yeah,
at the games.
at the Patriots games.
And they come dressed up.
And they come dressed up to the buzz off with their muskets.
And they get their hair buzzed
And
off.
they get their hair buzzed off.
And then they put a hat on over it.
Yeah, and they do an amazing job fundraising for us. But we also have an MVP dinner, which is really cool. So if you hit $3,500, which a lot of people do, you get an automatic invite to a Gronk dinner. We have it at Gillette. He comes and
That's
hangs out
gotta
with
be
you.
fun.
Everyone gets a picture with him. They get an autographed memorabilia. I mean, it's really an awesome time. So Rob does a lot for us.
So if you can raise $3,500,
You get to meet Rob.
You get to go
That's
to this
all you have to
big
do.
dinner, and then you get to meet all these wonderful people doing wonderful things.
And you get to help the kids.
That's right, which is the bottom line. So again, we're talking about One Mission, the Buzz Off, which is, One Mission is an organization that in Massachusetts that funds kids and families that are suffering with pediatric cancer, and they're doing their big annual Buzz Off at Gillette on June 2nd. So please, it's a very excited group, and Kelly's here, who's buzzed. Her hair's short now, but she's gonna make it even shorter this year. And again, you talked.
Braid it, people.
It's not that.
Come on, wait till people see the picture. No, you cannot. Now, you also have this heart-to-heart group.
Yes.
And Kelly was also talking about this, what is it, Sundays on Saturday? But what does Heart to Heart do for the parents?
So a lot of times when kids complete treatment and, the family goes home, people think, oh, that's great, it goes back to normal, but it really doesn't. And the parents especially, there's no new normal. I mean, it's just everything. And at that point, the parents really now have time to try and process everything they've been through because they've been so focused on their kid the whole time. So our Heart to Heart program is a place for parents to come after treatment has finished, and we have forums, we have support groups.
We have an online.
Yeah.
group.
And then we also we provide grants for integrative therapies for parents that really need to try and take care of themselves a little bit now that they're finished taking care of their family and putting their child first. So it's really a place for us to help these parents that are trying to find a new normal, which is almost impossible because help in people's personal lives usually stops at the end of treatment because people go, okay, check, the child is cancer free.
You mean the medical community?
Well,
because they have to move on to the next child.
Well, personal community. I mean, you don't think, oh, they had, a child that had cancer, but they haven't had cancer for about a year. They're probably just so happy to have the child home. But the sad fact is there's still so much need and so much healing that needs to happen.
And I think that's an important point because people think, I've friends that have had kids that have gone through terrible things, not necessarily cancer, but also other illnesses and such. And you get home and they think, oh, what if it comes back? What if it happens again?
Right.
Like with cancer, what if it doesn't? What if it comes back in 10 years? But then you also see the people going, listen, I survived that. I'm a survivor. I can do this.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, Buzz, I'm sure, are survival, and the survival rates are pretty good
Yeah.
when kids get diagnosed. According to the CDC and the American Cancer Society, which does the bulk of the research, pediatric cancer is rare, and the causes aren't often known. It can be genetic. They're looking at whether or not it's environmental. There's been talk of it being water quality, or could it be radiation, living near towers? You hear something different all the time, issues during a pregnancy. But that same research notes that the most common types of pediatric cancer that we talked about are leukemia, lymphoma, and brain cancer. But the good news is 15 million cancer survivors in this country survive every year. Many of them, not all of those are children, but a great number are under the age of 21. And there's a lot of treatment and supportive care for kids from birth age to 18, and that care just gets better every year. And I think we're lucky here in New England, even though I've read an article that was published online last year quoting a CDC report saying the Northeast is Massachusetts is the 12th highest state for incidence of pediatric cancer. But, in my opinion, there's a lot of reasons that can go behind that. We have a very strong medical community. We have very highly educated people that get their kids tested early, maybe more so than in other states. So you can look at that in a lot of ways, but I've seen different numbers, and about 80% of kids treated for cancer survive well over 5 years. So when you get out, what you're talking about is this going on and living life again. And I would imagine, Kelly, I met your daughter, and they must know, they know you're doing this. They know mom's doing this. They must talk about it. They go and volunteer, kids too?
Yep, they're there. I have an older daughter who's been volunteering since I shaved 5 years. She came with me on that very.
She didn't shave though.
She did not shave. Nope. Gorgeous long red hair. Nope, she would not shave that. Unfortunately, I apologize. But she has volunteered for the last 4 years, and then my younger daughter has come the last 2 times. Not sure how much volunteering she's doing.
More
There's a lot of
play,
cartwheeling.
Yeah.
And
General peppiness.
But happiness.
But
happiness and joy.
And I think it's really important for her to realize that this does happen. Again, a lot of us live in a very lovely bubble, and that's not the case for a lot of families. And so I think that it's a really good way of talking and having her be aware. She and a friend have wanted to do like lemonade stand, bake sale for raising money for them. So that's an easy way of raising money.
I was going to say, if people listening, Girl Scout troops, Boy Scout troops.
I've seen Little League teams come through.
We had a roller derby do a community buzz off for us once. That
roller derby team from Massachusetts?
Yeah. All ladies, all shaved their head. It was amazing.
Yes. Yes. So and again, I've said in the past to people, it's just hair and it grows. I'm lucky to say, yes, shave my head because it will grow. Yeah. So one thing that I wanted to touch upon too was you definitely see families who have lost a child to pediatric cancer, but were given gifts, things from One Mission while they were at Children's Hospital, and come back, raise money, and want to be a part of this because of the fact that they benefited. Unfortunately, their child didn't make it, but they still are really passionate about the buzz off and raising money and the importance of One Mission.
And that's important. So, Paige, as we wrap up here, what is the minimum that people have to raise to participate?
So the minimum, if you're 14 and under, is $200, and for 14 or 15 and older, it's $350. And the reason we have that is to help cover overhead costs. And so as a result, that ensures the maximum amount of money goes right to the kids and family. So sometimes people think $350, I can't do that. What are they talking about? But it's amazingly easy to reach that minimum, and that's probably the number one comment I hear. I was so nervous about the fundraising minimum, but I was amazed at how fast I hit it, and almost everybody hits it because you ask, 7 people for $50 or whatever, and boom, you hit it.
Hey, people do it on GoFundMe. It can't be that difficult, especially if you're part of a big group.
Yeah.
So we want to encourage everybody to go to the One Mission Buzz Off. on June 2nd at Gillette. Maybe you'll catch Gronk.
Oh, yeah.
The more
They're
money
singing
you
happy
raise,
birthday
the more
to
chance.
us.
Yeah, and it's the 10th birthday, and you're going to have all these birthday activities. It's going to be great. So you're going to go online if you want to register. You can either go to onemission.org for all the information, especially if you're parents and you want information, or you can go to BuzzOff for...
buzzforkids.org. That's where you can
buzzforkids.org.
register and learn all about the details about the Buzz Off specifically.
All right, Paige, are you in it to win it this year?
Kelly? Because I'm not shaving.
I'm sorry, I meant Kelly. No, Paige, no, Kelly. Are you in it to
I
win it
am
this year? You're
in
both
it
so excited, I can't tell the
I
difference.
know. We're both in it to win it.
We're both in it to win it.
Okay,
Yes,
so-
most definitely.
And if people want to volunteer their time and come and be committed for that day, they can still do so by going to either one of those
Absolutely. If
websites.
anyone has any questions, just reach out to me. You can find my contact info everywhere, but no matter if it's about the Buzz Off, about One Mission, about volunteering, about fundraising, no matter what it is, reach out. I'd love to talk to you and just teach you more about what we do.
Or if you want to make a donation to my fundraising page.
Or Kelly needs
Go for
a
it, Kelly.
fundraiser. Yeah, she needs some donors
Go for it.
over
I need
here.
some donors.
So now, are you linked to the Buzz for
Yes,
Kids
yes,
website, the
yes.
donation, so they can go there and make a donation?
They can look her name
They
up.
can look my name up. It's Kelly. It's under Kelly Cusack Chauncey.
Yeah.
But I will take any donations.
And then you can just go down the list and contribute to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So again, One Mission, Buzz Off for Kids. You can get your hair cut. You can raise money anyway. You can chicken out and donate the money. It's on June 2nd. Gronk's going to be there. It's at Gillette. I encourage everybody to go. And again, go to onemission.org if you can't make the event and figure out maybe you can do an event of your own, or you can get involved. There's 3 hospitals we should mention. Boston Children's, what are the other 2 that you work with?
Yeah, Boston Children's Hospital, the Jimmy Fund Clinic at Dana-Farber, which is the pediatric wing, and then Hasbro Children's Hospital in Providence, Rhode Island.
All right, so there you go. So thank you so much to my guest, Paige Crane, the marketing coordinator for One Mission. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
And Kelly Chauncey, a volunteer coordinator who has raised so much money and participated in the Buzz Off, and she's going to be there again.
Yes, I will.
Come
Thank
see
you very much.
us.
Yes.
All right, listeners, what do you think? You ready to get your hair buzzed? Again, go to onemission.org or buzzforkids.org to be a buzzy. That's Community Conversations. I'm Vicki Green. Make it a wonderful day.